Mudyrk is officially signed as a Chelsea player, and Arsenal fans are bitter. We've heard rumours that are fake, such as he's on 250k a week. Chelsea paid 100M when we weren't willing to match that. Chelsea absolutely blew us out the park and we weren't really interested in the player. That's all the rumours I've heard. But now the real truth finally comes out, and we've got all the details, the juice, beefy details that every single one of you has been craving for. I love it, and this is my favorite part of a transfer rumor. Just to tell people, we've got the player and this is how it happened. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, Braduchi, and in today's video, like I said, we've got all the details that have been coming out about the Mudyrk saga, and they've been massive. They've been juicy and they've been super interesting, so we'll get our teeth into that. And after, we've got 4 players in training now. 1, the new signing, you can guess who, and 3, post-injury. 3 players that are most probably going to come back into the side when they're raring to go and take us to the next level. And we're going to look at the impact of what we have to do to make top 4, because we need to go on some crazy win streak to guarantee it, and then there's a more realistic alternative that we'll talk about. But all I ask from you guys now, before we get into these topics, you hit the like button, because we're aiming for 1,000 likes. Do it right now, because you will forget. Trust me, I forget all the time, so help me out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, because you're going to enjoy this content. You're nearly 2 minutes in. And finally, in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Follow me there, let me know your thoughts in the DMs, and more importantly, ask me as many questions as you guys want. I usually reply with a voice note or an answer when I get the time. So let's move on with the story. Alright, so the transfers have already happened. The players already are. He's wearing the number 15 and Mudyrk is already in training. We know all of this, but what actually happened? Because there was a lot of misinformation coming out. When the transfer is about to get done, Twitter, journalists and media companies start throwing numbers out left, right and center. And we don't know what to believe. We don't know what the sources are that are the most reliable. And realistically, we should actually just wait, hold back a bit and get all the information 2 to 3 days later, because that's when the truth starts coming out. So number 1, how did this deal happen? No, well, Iqbali on a flight went to Turkey. And it wasn't Poland, it was Turkey. They sat down around a table for 8 to 10 hours worth of presentations, food, and persuading the players' representatives that they are best to join Chelsea and not Arsenal. They wrapped up this deal in arguably 2 weeks and 8 to 10 hours of conversations in one day. So they've inquired about the player with Shakhtar 2 weeks ago, and then they decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bid this money, we're going to meet it, and now let's decide the way the fee's going to get structured with the player and the club at the same time. 8 to 10 hours, that's what it took. This is a very complex deal, so to cover it all in 8 to 10 hours, mad. I can't believe they did that. Apparently the presentations they had, they were highlighting to Mudyrk, look, you're going to come into Chelsea, you're going to be playing. You've got Martinelli at Arsenal that you're going to be directly competing with. Do you think they're going to take him out the team? Here, you've got a pathway to make your own. And realistically speaking, it's the truth. Then they sold him on the project that Chelsea are going on. They are bringing in young players. This is what we're going to achieve. And the reality is, right, Arsenal are a massive club. But in the last 20 years, they can't compete with Chelsea. And that's the fact of the matter. With the current investment that's going into the team, they can't compete with you. Yes, they're having one season when they're better than us. But I would bet my money that next season, we're going to finish above them. I'm that confident. I genuinely think next season, Chelsea will finish above Arsenal. And that's because the quality of the squad will regress to its mean. I think they've got a lot of players that overperform. One injury to Partey, and all of a sudden, all their old cracks are going to reappear. That's my personal opinion. Then what happened? A lot of people said, oh, Chelsea gave him 250k. Not true. This is not true. Chelsea gave him £90,000 a week. This means £90,000 a week guaranteed, and the rest are all incentive based. If he plays better, he gets more money. Arsenal offered him £80,000. It was within 10,000, the Athletic reports. So none of this that Chelsea bid 250,000 and Arsenal only bid 34k. Or of course he's a mercenary. It's got nothing to do with being a mercenary. At the end of the day, this is a job. He likes to do the job of playing football. Whoever pays him more money and the better project comes into a factor. So technically, that argument is wrong as well. And this is my favorite one. They said Arsenal did not match the package Chelsea offered. Arsenal did match the package. They just structured it in a way that Shakhtar found it disgusting. Shakhtar's president done an interview with The Athletic where he disclosed all. He said Chelsea offered 70 million euros and the 70 million euros were guaranteed, so that's 62 million pounds, and the rest 30 million euros are based on clauses, and these clauses were realistic that Chelsea were offering. Arsenal's were not realistic. Arsenal's were pathetically trying to mug Shakhtar off. Shakhtar got annoyed, stopped wasting time in this negotiation and basically told them do one game. Otherwise, Chelsea were more serious about the player. Chelsea acquired the player because the player wants to play for Chelsea. And more importantly, Chelsea respected the club they were buying. This is something that they didn't do with Benfica for Enzo Fernandez. So I think this is a lesson learned. This is a step in a positive direction. So before people start coming out with false accusations such as Chelsea don't deserve this player because all they did is throw money at him, wrong. Chelsea had the better project and the player got enticed by the presentation that was given to him. That's perfectly fine. And now onto some positive news. Like I said, there are 4 players that have joined training and they're back. Number 1, Mudyrk is here. Look, Mudryk's not going to be able to start from the outset, I think, because Mudryk hasn't played football for 3 months. Shakhtar's season's over. And the guy's going to have to become match fit again. He was in the gym, there were photos of this. He is training with the first team though. But there are 3 players that are first teamers back in the squad. Wesley Fofana is fit again. He's raring to go. He is running in training. So hopefully they can get him up to match fitness so he can get on the pitch. Reece James is back in first team training. He was pictured, as is Ben Chilwell. As much as you lot know, I don't rate Ben Chilwell too highly and I call him Steady Eddie Basic Ben. We need a little bit of Steady Eddie Basic Ben. We need some consistency. We need some 6 out of 10s, 7 out of 10s on a regular basis. I like Lewis Hall, but he is not Ben Chilwell at left back. That's my personal opinion. Reece James takes us to the next level. Reece James takes us from a team battling for top 4 to a team that is 3rd and raring to go for a title push. That's how good Reece James is. And Wesley Fofana, well, you already know how I rate. They're back. All right, so they're going to be in and among the team. And now, because there's a game once a week till February the 11th when we play Dortmund, this is good news because it means there's going to be time for them to rear up, time for them to get fit, and more importantly, we can ease them in slowly and there won't be too many games that go by. But the task we had ahead of us is a little bit nasty because we need to make top 4, and that's the reality, okay? In any other season, if we were 10th in January, we'd be screwed. But in this season, with the disruption of the World Cup, we have an opportunity, a faint one, but it's a good one, all right? So Chelsea, as you guys can see over here, need to make around about somewhere between 66 to 76 points to get top 4. 66 would be enough for 2 of the last 8. That needs 13 wins from the next 19 games. To get 76, and which will all but guarantee it, because in the last 8 years, 76 gets you top 4. You need 16 wins. I don't see this team winning 16 out of 19 games. I do see this team winning 13 out of 19. And I think they're capable of doing that. Throw in a couple draws and all of a sudden get 4 draws in there and you're on 70 points and we've got a good chance. But this only happens if we start beating teams in the top 10, which we haven't been doing at this moment in time. So the boys need to start with a positive note and start beating Liverpool this week. We've got a home tie against Liverpool. We need to go into it. Oh no, it's in the Anfield, sorry. We need to go there. We need to get a result. A draw is no good. We need to go and win this. Win a couple games and just keep doing our own thing. After we beat Liverpool, there are a group of games coming up against bottom half teams that are favourable. It will put us within a chance, and that's all you can ask for. Because we got ourselves in this mess, so now we have to get ourselves out of this. That's my opinion. I hope you lot enjoyed the Kavkas View. I hope you lot liked this video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.